Hey everybody! The purpose of this video is to get you some quick solutions to the first randomness quiz. Actually, we'll reference the second one too, but the first one is pretty straightforward, so we'll get that one answered. So it's about randomness on an MP3 player. So essentially what you're talking about here is loading up your MP3 player with 12 songs. We'll come back to this on your second exam. And you play exactly 12 songs on random, so you're trying to be random. I gave you 12 playlists, all of which are themselves equally likely. But which one of the four would be more indicative of a true random playlist? So here you've got 1, 5, 4, 6, 9, 10, 2, 12, 11, 8, 7, 3, which shows every song being played exactly one time, but not in order. Here you got 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 12 times, which would be just track 5 played 12 times. Here you got 3, 4, 2, 12, 3, 1, 10, 10, 11, 8, 3, 8. So you got some repeats in there. You got 3 times, and so forth and so on. And then D, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now granted, if you figured out every possible playlist that could happen if you played 12, I'm not going to give you the answer because it's actually on your last exam, but all of these are one of those huge amount of numbers of playlists. Okay. But if you were running a randomized playlist, not shuffled, but randomized, we'll come back to that in a second, you would not expect over 12 songs to hear either A or D. Okay? That's each song exactly one time. That's like rolling a die 6 times and getting exactly one of each of the numbers. Highly unlikely, much more likely to have some clumping. Now, you also wouldn't expect B. You wouldn't expect to roll a die 6 times and get all 5s. You would think something was up with the die. You would expect something along the lines of C, which shows a lot of the songs being played, some of the songs being left off, and repeats of others. That's what you would expect, whether you're rolling a die, flipping a coin, drawing cards out of a deck. You would expect some kind of clumping. You would expect a little bit of clumping. So C is definitely the most likely outcome for this particular experiment. And why? I think we just answered that. You would expect some kind of clumping, which would of course indicate, if you've only played 12 songs, that you're not going to hear certain songs and you're going to hear certain songs more than once. That's kind of what randomness is all about. Now it says, suppose your MP3 player was set to shuffle and not random. And I gave you a little bit of a talk through about what shuffle versus random is down here, and you can read that if you need to. Otherwise, I'll give you the basic idea. Shuffle is more like, think about a deck of cards. When you shuffle a deck of cards, you grab the deck, and then you shuffle them together. And then usually you deal them out one at a time, especially if you're playing a game like poker or Go Fish or something like that. But the idea is once you throw one card to somebody, you throw the next card to somebody else. That first card that was dealt cannot be dealt again. So the idea of shuffle is once a song has been played, it will not be played again. So if you have 12 songs and you shuffle all 12 of them, you will hear exactly 12 songs in some order. So the only two possibilities now are letter A up here, which shows all the songs played once, and letter D down here, which shows all the songs being played once. Now, the thing about this one is, technically speaking, either of those is just as likely to be heard as the other one. Either of those is just as likely to be heard as the other one. So if you put either A or D, I'd be totally happy with that. Okay, as long as you talked about why you picked your choice down here in part 4. You'd be more likely to hear one like A, which is not all the songs in perfect numerical order, but numerical order is arbitrary. It's how you labeled the songs, 1, 2, 3, 4. So honestly, either of those is just as likely as the other in this case. So either of those is equally likely. Boom. And that's your introduction to randomness quiz. Hopefully it was straightforward. There's not much mathematics to do. There's 2 things that you have to know about randomness. Number 1, expect clumping in true randomness. And number 2, you never know what's going to come next. You can expect clumping, but you can never expect where the clumps are going to happen. This is why those who watch one-armed bandits at casinos make me simultaneously laugh and cry inside.